I am Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be doing my October wrap-up, and October was the worst reading month of the year for me, amount-wise. I read 4 books. I thought it was 5, and then I looked, and it was 4. So, I just had a really bad reading month, as in, like, quantity-wise, they were all about, like, 4 stars. So, we're gonna get into stats, Paco, in a minute. But, yeah, so, it's to him. Stats, Paco, here. I'm looking at my spreadsheet. And, as I said before, October was my worst reading month. I read about 4 books. Listened to 52 hours, though, because I only listened to audiobooks. The average rating was about 4 stars. 4 of them were diverse. Like I said, they were 4 audiobooks. All of them were novels, and 2 of them were adult, and 2 were YA. One was 3.5, 2 were 4 stars, and 1 was a 4.5. The top genre, of course, is fantasy. I had 1 that was horror, and then 2 were thrillers, technically. And then 1 was fantasy. It was actually the most genre was thriller. The more I know. But yeah, that's Stats Paco for you. I will then review the books. Okay, so that was Stats Paco. So yeah, like I said, I read 4 books in October, and I read them all mainly for Fabelin. I only got to day 2. I'm sorry, Margaret. The arrows are coming for me. But, yeah, let's get to it. So the first book I read in the month of, October, I finished, was A Touch of Blood by Sanjay Patel. I read this because it has a red cover, so it fit the Fabelin Day 1 prompt, and then it also has a blood, which was like a word in my team's, like our team's word, and then also it was a Greek mythology retelling, so this fit for the Spooktacular Deuce Gorgon prompt. So this is the sequel to A Drop of Venom, where that followed one sister and is a Medusa retelling. This follows another sister, another Naga sister, and this is a Persephone retelling. I enjoyed this. I do think Drop of Venom, I believe, is the first book. Touch of Venom? We're about to see right now. I can't tell. But I do think the first book I prefer a little bit more, just because I like the way that retelling was done. This is still a good retelling of Persephone. I think I just enjoyed the main character more in book 1. But this follows our main character, Manisha, who she is trying to, like, protect her people, so she makes a deal with the shadows that she will join them, like, into the underworld if they help her people escape this, like, thing, and they help her people escape, and then years later she has to do it, and the Persephone and Hades stuff. That was really fun. One of my problems with this one, I think, was the fact that it wasn't until, like, halfway through the book when our main characters started interacting, and for this to be Hades Persephone, for, you know, like, romance to be one of the major things, it just didn't work. It worked. It kind of the same thing happened in the first book, but that worked a little bit better because that was a Medusa retelling. This is supposed to be Hades and Persephone, and I get it just wasn't my favorite. I did enjoy the second half a lot more, though, of this book. I felt like the first half was just, you know, setting stuff up, and the second half, to me, was just more enjoyable. Like, don't want to really into spoilers, but yeah, so I will be continuing with this trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy. I'm very excited for when the next book gets announced. This is a fun series. I high-key recommend, though. The next book I had to read was a book for my book club. One of my book clubs I'm in, my IRL book club, and that was Sisters in the Wind. And this is this is not retelling, this is a thriller, and it is about a main character who she has been going from foster care to foster care, and then she's on the run, and shit happens. And I really don't want to get too much into it, because this is, like, very, like, in-depth story. It talks a lot about the child protection, like, Indigenous Child Protection Act, and it was a okay read. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the writing, but, like, especially at the book club, the plot to me was really all over the place. Like, the ending half was not the best. I still ended up giving it, like, a low 4, almost almost a 3, but it's still a 4. I still enjoyed when I was reading it, but like discussing it with people, I saw the plot holes. So I high key recommend The Firekeeper's Daughter. This, I would be like, if you like The Firekeeper's Daughter, read it. So yeah, so there's that. The next book I have was The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Cañas. If you don't know, Isabel Cañas is one of my favorite authors. This was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. And I think this is my least favorite Isabel Cañas book, but that is still saying something, that I still loved it. Like, I still loved it. It was still Isabel Cañas book. This just was a 4-star, not a 5-star. And I don't know if this is the slump speaking that I've been in that like really kicked in this month. That took me forever to read this, but this book is about our main character, Alba Diaz. She is getting married to this guy, and he owns a mine. And to flee the plague, her and her family go to the mining town where she's at, and she starts having these like weird coincidences. She's sleepwalking, weird shit starts happening, and she thinks she's possessed. And so the only person that she can think to go to is her fiance's hot cousin, that she is like, oh, he's hot, and like we kind of have a connection for. And so I'm really enjoy that. The second half of this book had some female rage that I was eating up. I did enjoy this. It was Isabel Cañas. Like, I still loved it. It's just my least favorite of Isabel Cañas' books so far, but still loved it. Still high key recommend. This was still a very high 4. It's just like the slump mood of it did affect it for me, but I still really, really enjoyed this. And I will be rereading this eventually when I'm not in such a slump and I could like thoroughly enjoy it. So the last book I have to talk about was my favorite book of the month, and that is The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So this book is 3 timelines. It follows Alba in like the 1900s. It follows Tremblay, this author, and her manuscript, and then the main character is Marvina, who is the granddaughter of Alba, attending school and doing a research paper, or her thesis is about this horror author, Tremblay, the other perspective we follow, and it involves how all 3 of them, witches, have affected their lives, and it's really good, really atmospheric. Silvia Moreno Garcia, this is probably my second favorite. It's like up there with Gods of Jade and Shadow, Silvia Moreno Garcia book I've read. I do want to read more of her books. I think that is going to be one of my goals for 2026, is to just pick up more Silvia Moreno Garcia books. And really enjoyed this. Enjoyed the way they did the witches. I thought that was fun. It was very like spooky. It was, I would say, I think Helen is reading it right now, and I agree, where it has more thriller vibes than like horror, but I still really enjoyed this. It was fun. There is some like iffy stuff in the like one of the perspectives, like some past stuff, but not icky bad, but just icky uncomfortable. But if you can get past that, I think it's Sue's Failings. I really enjoyed this. I gave this a high 4. Like, this is 4.5. So that is what I read in October. What did you guys read? What was your favorite book? And if you stayed this long, leave a bird emoji, because The Bewitching has a bird on it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I post new videos every Friday. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.